Welcome to Hack the File. I'm Michael Lopez, and on today's video, we're going to go over Kali Linux step-by-step and hands-on projects by Craig Berg. Enjoy. So, I found a great book, and it's called Kali Linux Linux Made Easy for Beginners and Intermediates, a step-by-step hands-on project including hacking and cybersecurity basics with Kali Linux by Craig Berg. I paid $3 for this digital copy of this. All right, so I was thinking about Kali Linux, right? And that's if you guys know what Kali Linux is, and I was going through here and I was like, how do I use half of these um, applications or half of these programs? I know how to use Burp Suite, but I've never used I've used WP Scan 2, but some of these I haven't used, right? And I thought, okay, I can go through these and Google the how to do it and stuff like that, and then mess around with it, but that's going to take a long time, right? And I thought there's got to be a book that goes through here, this stuff. And there is. I found it. So, we're going to go through this book, and I'm going to skip the installation in the intro, because you guys should know what Kali Linux is already. It's a hacking toolbox or that you use for pen testing and digital forensics, right? Or for hacking. And it comes with over 600 pre-installed applications. This is all in the introduction, right? We're not going to read that because you guys should know what Kali Linux is. If you're basic or intermediate, getting into cybersecurity. I'm gonna make a series on this book, and I'm gonna try to keep the videos under 30 minutes. So I always say that, but I get carried away sometimes, and sometimes I'm having too much fun, so then I just keep going. But no more than an hour. But this one is going to be an intro. We're going to keep it under 30 minutes. So we're going to skip this installation and configuration because it's installing the same virtual box machine that I have already. And so if you want to know how I installed this with the pfSense firewall, Ubuntu, Metasploitable, and the Kali Linux box, go back to my ethical hacking series video, and it shows you how to set it up. Or else you can Google how to set up a Kali Linux virtual machine and the virtual box. And so you're gonna have to set up you're gonna have to get the ISO image to Kali Linux, and then you're gonna have to get the virtual machine virtual box, and then you're gonna install them, right? If you have never done that, I would recommend looking at my ethical hacking series videos, and I show you how to do it. If somebody leaves a comment saying, hey, could you run through the installation and configuration for this one, I'll do it. I'll run through it, but like I said, this virtual environment that I already have is doing exactly what this wants, so I'm not going to waste my time with it. Okay, so we're going to skip all this, and we're going to go to this basic introduction, right? And we're going to start from here, because this book is so cool that it does a basic introduction to the Linux directory structure, right? And it actually, if you look at this, and like I said, this, vulnerability assessments, information gathering tools, vulnerability, wireless attacking tools, wireless, web application attacks. Um, it's going to go through the all of these one by one, which is what I wanted. So this is going to be an awesome series. Okay, I've already looked at some of what it's teaching, and it's awesome. Now the thing is it going to work? I don't know what year this was written. Let me look it up real quick because it might be old, really old, right? Let me look at it real quick. It got 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I paid $3 for the digital copy on Amazon. The book is the hardcover is $23, and the paperback is 11. So the digital. Okay, now let's see what year it was published. Doesn't say. Okay, yeah, it's 2019, so it's not old. It was 19, 20, 21, 22. It's 4 years old, so it's going to have some problems. I can already tell you when we go through this stuff, right? But it's okay. We know how to update stuff, and that's the point of this video. We're gonna get through it, right? But that's basically what this introduction to this video is going to be. Is we're going to go through each one of those chapters. I'm going to try to keep them under 30 minutes, and we're going to play around with each one of those tools on the Kali Linux box. And at the end, it says right here that we're going to do a hands-on project, exploding project, where we're going to use like probably everything in here to hack into the Metasploitable. And I think you can make the Metasploitable even harder to hack. So we're probably going to do that. I mean, this is probably like it's going to be a really great series. So I would follow along, or buy the book yourself for $3 and follow along, or you can follow along and I'll pause the video and when you need to. So let's get this started. Like I said, the installation we're going to skip, and you can look at my other videos to see how to do it, or you can Google it yourself, or leave a comment and I'll make a video. Okay. I might just even do that just to say, hey, how to set up I think I've done that too. So I don't know. All right. A basic introduction to networking and working on the Linux kernel system. In this section, we're going to cover the basics of working with the Linux kernel system and the working environment you set up above. This section is important because the Debian-based system important for beginners because the Debian-based system upon which Kali works on is different from the common Windows or OS X interface, so Windows or Mac. Let us start by understanding the Linux file system and an organizational structure. A file system is the method or data structure that an operating system uses to organize files and data to control how it is retrieved or stored. See, I like this. Okay, this is basic, and it's starting off by telling you that it's going to be different. It's not going to be like Windows, right? And you would think you would know that or have some kind of common sense on that, but I mean, not really, because you're getting into cybersecurity. You're working towards all these certs, or your degree, or you have some IT stuff, or not if you don't have IT, whatever. But and you're not familiar with Linux. With Linux, I mean, it's kind of like you're like a baby. You're figuring it all out as you go. And I remember when I was messing with the Linux when I first started, and I was like, man, this is way different. So I had to spend a lot of time. So Nobody told me it was different. I just was like, man, this is not, what is this, you know? So this is cool. Linux directory structure. All Linux based distros have similar structures, even though some have additional files and directories. In this section, we're going to use the Kali Linux directory structure. So this is your directory structure, / root directory structure. You're going to have your bin, you're going to have your boot, you're going to have your dev, you're going to have your etc., home, library or lib, media, management, op, root, run, sbin, serve or srv, temp, user, var. Okay, now you can pause that and look through that, but that's going to be your root directory structure. Now this is going to explain them, so this is even way better. So your root directory, this is root or starting point. Every directory in the Linux FS file system starts from this folder. In most Linux distributions, only the root user has access to the directory. Bin, binary files. This is the directory containing basic programs. Boot, kernel boot files. These are Linux kernel files. These are the Linux kernel and files required for early boot process. There you go. Dev, device files. This directory contains device files. Okay, nice. Configuration files. This is the directory containing Linux configuration files. And when you're hacking, if you're hacking somebody's Linux stuff, then you know what these are now. Home, user directory. This is the user's directory. It contains user personal files such as videos, images, and documents. The home file. Lib, system libraries, directory containing basic library files. Media, mount point. This is the mount point for removable devices such as USBs, CDs, DVDs, and etc. MNT, temporary mount point. This is the temporary mount point. This is available most likely in live Linux live mode. Opt, third-party applications. Contains applications provided by third parties. Root, admin personal directory. This contains administrator's personal files such as media and documents. Run, volatile data. Contains volatile runtime erased upon reboot. SBIN, system binaries. Contains system programs. SRV, server files. Contains data used by the server hosted on the system. Temp, temporary data. Contains temporary data erased at boot. That's a good one. User applications. This is the directory containing application files. It has various subdirectories. Var, variable data. Contains variable data required by daemons. These files include log files, spools, queues, and caches. Proc. This is a special directory containing runtime system information, e.g. system memory, devices mounted, hardware config, etc. We can refer to it as the control center of the kernel during runtime. Systems. System files is a pseudo file system that exports device information and drivers through virtual files. Okay, that was awesome. The Linux command line. The power of Linux operating system lies within the application called a terminal. So Linux calls it a terminal. It may have many names like the Terminator, terminal, interm, xterm, and more. It is still a terminal. I think I'm going to start calling it the Terminator. All right, get on that Terminator. Let us see what makes this tool such an important tool in the Linux Debian-based operating system. The terminal. So now this is going to go through the terminal, which when you first do this, I mean, you know that you're like, okay, this is all terminal based, but I mean, it kind of isn't. You can click on, it's got boxes and stuff that you can click on and open from there. You don't have to do everything from the terminal, but the terminal is going to be the where you run all your commands and stuff, right? Basically, it's the command line in Windows, but it's called the terminal here in Linux. Okay. In Linux, the terminal refers to an interactive text-based interface. It allows the user to enter, execute, and view the results of the commands. In desktop-oriented distros, we can launch the terminal from a graphical desktop session. That's basically what I said. While in server-oriented distros, it is the only thing you see when the computer boots up. Server-oriented distros such as Fedora servers do not provide a graphical session. So it's saying, in other words, some Linux distributions, oh, he's so cute, are all terminal, command line, whatever. Launching terminal. By default, Kali Linux provides the GNOME graphical desktop environment. So that's good to know. When you hear GNOME graphical desktop environment, or you hear GNOME, you know that that's the graphical desktop environment. If you download the right kind of Linux and your system is working properly, you should have a graphical desktop environment. That's what I do, just like that. On the left hand of your desktop screen, you should notice a dock that contains a list of your favorite applications. Select the black icon text inside. It is usually the second from the top. You can also move your mouse pointer from top left of the screen to activate the page. Type terminal to launch it. So we don't have to do that because really. So ours is up here. Terminal emulator. It just wants you to open up a terminal. Command line basics, managing files. As a Linux user, managing files via the terminal is very essential. Rarely will you encounter cases where you switch from terminal to GUI control. In this section, we're going to see how to manage files from the terminal similar to how you would use a GUI, graphical user interface file manager. Now, if you don't know what GUI is, it tells you right there, but if you don't know what that is, you need to Google it. It's basically like clicking on in Windows, they use GUIs. So you click on all kinds of little stuff that look like this, right? Little application things, and click to execute and run stuff. This, you're going to have to type in commands to execute and run stuff. Launch the terminal and get started. PWD, this command stands for Print Working Directory. It shows your current working directory on the file system. So let's do that. Right? You can always use practice. So we're going to click on this terminal. If not, it said to search. But and we're going to do PWD. Right? PWD. And that told me I'm in the home Kali. I'm in my Kali home. That's where it says. So that's where my terminal is at right now. I'm in my home. And remember, that's my personal directory, right? Because we already know what that is. See, that's why I like this book. It's awesome. It's explaining what it is too. And if you can't remember, you go back for reference. Okay. CD. We use this command to navigate target directories. The complete syntax is CD, name of the target directory. If the directory is outside the current working directory, the path is required. If you don't specify the target directory, it takes you to the home directory. To go back to previous directory since your last CD call, type CD space ... or CD space this. So let's try that. Let's see where we're at. All right, let's open this back up. Let's type CD ... Where do you think that's going to take me? Home. Because we were in home Kali. Now we're just going to go CD. And then now I'm going to go PWD. So now I'm back to CD. After I put just CD, it took me back to Kali, right? cd space dash, took me home, cd space dot dot, pwd. Yeah, I'm just in the, I don't know where I'm at. So we'll do cd, take me back home, and we'll check if I'm home. Boom, I'm home. Okay, that all worked. Let's go to the next one. ls. We use this command to list all the files and directories within the current working directory. The syntax for ls command is ls, file directory. What? The syntax for ls command is ls, option, and then your file directory if you want. Table shown. The table below shows some of the options for ls command. So you can do lsa, list all of including files to start with. So let's just start with ls. All right. Let's see what I have in here. I ain't got nothing. So I've got my desktop, I've got my documents, I've got my downloads, music, pictures, library. And it's going to show us how to get in there, right? Okay, let's do LSA. List all including hidden files. Okay. I think I have. No, not on this VM. I don't have any hidden files. I have hidden files. Well, I don't know. Let's see. LSA. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of hidden files. So these are all the hidden files. .profile, .sudo, and these are all the ones that it showed you by doing ls, right? The blue ones, and the hidden ones are these white ones. Okay, let's see what else we got. ls dash dash color is the colored list. Equals always never auto. So let's try that one. I've never used that. I don't think. Yeah, I've never used it. So let's do ls color. Dash dash color. Okay. LSD, list directories with this. LSD. Let's do LSD. I don't do LSD, but let's do LSD. Man, LSD. Dot. Oh, okay. So this is list directories with whatever I put in with the whatever I put in there, right? So LSF adds one character of this at the entries. So this is list files inode index number, lists with the long format, shows permissions. Let me do that one. ls dash. Well, actually, let's see if we can find ls big F. Is that what that one is? Okay, so D. So I'll go ls. Oh. F. Then do I have to just put D? Okay. D. Hold on a second. Do I use one? Let's see what this is. Oh man. Can I access D? No such file. I'm just toying around with this a little bit, trying to see what this does, because I'm not a Kali expert and I don't even remember. My brain is not working either. So let's read what that says again. Adds one character of oh, did I skip one? Let's see. D. What did I do? List directories with the star dash. Does that make sense? Oh. Okay. That works. So this one finds it. Right? So let's go. Anyways, so you can play around with all this stuff. LS minus L. So this gives me my permissions, right? What each one of these directories, what their permissions are. And these all mean something. You can, okay, you can write, you can, I have to take off here in a minute, but you can write, you can, I don't know if this is download, you can read, you can change it on all these, right? But I'm sure it's going to tell you here in a minute. Yeah, show permissions, list long format, including hidden files. All right, so we're going to stop there, and then we're going to start again on the next video. I might do a couple videos in a row, but that gives you a little taste of this book. It's awesome, okay? And it allows you to play around with stuff. It tells you what it does, but if you don't know, you're gonna have to mess with it and see what it does, or you can even Google it. So you can Google it and it'll tell you how it works in more detail, So um, this series we're gonna go through this series and have a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm not a master of Kali Linux, as you can see, so it's gonna be even more fun. We're gonna figure it out together. All right, that was Hack the File, and I'll see you next time on the next video. Have fun.